Good morning, children. So, in the previous class, we were studying about the abiotic factor, the four abiotic factors which are important, which actually control the type of organisms which are found in any habitat. They were, that is the light, temperature, water, and soil. Out of that, the three we already done. The fourth one, that is the soil, we are starting today. Soil, as you know, is a very important factor for all the plants. Animal may not be dependent directly on the soil, but plants are actually dependent on the kind of soil, the water availability in the soil, the humus content of the soil, minerals available in the soil, pH of the soil and all. So these all factors will be determining that what type of plants will found in any given region. The texture, the gravel size, that is whether the soil is having clay soil, or it is a red soil, or it is a brown soil, or whether it is with the pebbles, or whether it is a smooth one, or there are a number of factors which are found in the soil, and it is these factors, they will determine that what type of plants will found in a given habitat. And the plants ultimately define that what type of animals are found, because the animals are depending on plants. Okay. However, there are some microorganisms like the bacteria and all, which are also found in the soil, and that is very important, because the soil bacteria are actually helping in the formation of humus and formation of the soil rather. Okay. Okay, now another thing, that is the soil may have two important things, that some of the soil minerals are washed away with the rainwater, that is called the soil erosion. At the same time, new minerals are added there, either by the soil erosion from some other place, or by mineralization, by weathering. And the weathering is done by various ways. They may be abiotic or biotic. Abiotic weathering we are studied by some of that is the temperature variation. In class 9th you might have studied, because the temperature variation, and by that is the flood water, and by wind and all, but they are very slow. Then the second one is that the biotic, and biotic may be because of the certain type of lichens and other organisms which are found there. They may help in the degradation of the rocks and removal of the minerals. So all these will ultimately make the composition of the soil, and the soil composition is a very important criteria of distribution of the plants. Okay. So that is why you see that even if you got all the environmental factors, that is the temperature and the light and other factors sufficiently good, but if the soil is not supportive, a particular plant will not be able to grow there. So all these four factors which we have studied so far, that is the light, the temperature, and the water, and the soil, they will determine that what type of plants and what type of animals are found in any given region. And that is how they are the most important criteria of any ecosystem, and the biotic component of any ecosystem. So that's all what we are studying. Now we are starting another factor, that is the respond to the abiotic factor. Now, so far by our discussion, we have studied that the abiotic factors are ultimately determining that what type of biotic factors will be there. What is the criteria of determination? Why are so? Why are abiotic factors playing so crucial role for the determination of, defining that what type of biotic factors will be found? So the reason is that every organism has a certain range of tolerance for various type of abiotic factor. Like we human being can tolerate a certain range of temperature, below which we may find it difficult to survive. Above it, we may find difficult to survive. Of course, now human beings, since we got so much of knowledge and so much of technology and all, so we can change any environment. But that is not same with the cows, the donkeys, and the bacteria and the insects which are found in any place. And that is why their distribution is mainly determined by what type of abiotic factor, because there is a certain range of tolerance. Okay, now to this type of abiotic factor, the organisms can respond in three different manners. Organisms can respond in three different manners. If you see this diagram, figure 13.3, you can see that internal level, that is inside the body, and external level, that is outside the body. The environment outside the body, that is external environment or external level, and the environment inside the body, that is the internal level. Now if we see human being, you see outside temperature may be any temperature, but inside the body the temperature is always 37 degrees Celsius. Okay? So what we do, we regulate, we have an ability to regulate the temperature. Similarly, we have an ability to regulate the water content up to a certain extent. Now we cannot simply regulate water forever. Okay, so we can regulate the water content in the body. So all the mammals have an ability to regulate the body temperature and osmotic concentration up to a great extent. Birds can also do that. Birds can also regulate the body temperature, and birds can also regulate the osmotic concentration. Okay? So those organisms which are hardly affected by the external environment. External environment can be anything, but their inside their body will always have a constant internal environment, that is homeostasis. That is either they are homeothermals or this type of condition which are there. So for them, the body has a better efficiency. Of course, it will be little bit difficult for them to survive because the external cells are in direct contact with the surrounding, and they will be affected by the external environment. However, the internal environment, the inside cells and the systems and the organs, whatever are there, they can perform there better. There is an analogy which is given here. Let us take an analogy to clarify the important concept. Suppose a person is able to perform his best at 25 degrees Celsius temperature. Okay. Now there are two types of places. There are two types of places. One is there where there is no type of such regulations are artificially maintained. There is no AC, there is no heater, there is no cooler, there is no something. There the people will have least efficiency because they will find suffocated, they will find extra heat, then they will go out. Or if they feel extra cold inside the room, they will go out and stand in the sun. Okay, so that is the way. So their efficiency will decrease. If 8 hours work time is given to them, they may hardly perform 6 hours work, 2 hours they may be simply bothering about managing the conditions. Whereas on the other hand, there is some other offices, other places where the whatever may be the outside temperature, but inside the office the temperature are maintained at 25 degrees Celsius using heater or using ACs in the winters and that is summers respectively. So the people who are sitting there, the people who are working there, they will produce their best. Okay. So the same way, outside whatever may be the environmental temperature, whatever may be the amount of water, dryness or humidity or whatever, but inside our body the constant environment is there. So our body inside our body the performance is better. This is the case in case of regulators. Okay. So mainly all the mammals and birds they have an ability to regulate. So if you read here regulate. You can see the book now shared. So you can see that regulate, count from say regulate. Some of the organs are able to maintain homeostasis by physiological, that is somewhat behavioral, or sometimes behavioral also. Behavioral, they may be either that is nocturnal, or that is if it is very hot outside, so they may come out only in the night for eating their food. So that is a behavior. Okay, 1 minute. But most of the time homeostasis is maintained by the physiological means. Okay. Now all birds and mammals have very few other vertebrates and invertebrate species indeed capable of such regulation, that is thermoregulation and osmoregulations. Thermoregulation state about the that is temperature regulation, and osmoregulation, that is the regulation of humidity or water concentration and mineral concentration in the body. Now evolutionary biologists believe that the success of mammals is largely due to their ability to maintain constant body temperature and thrive whether they live in Antarctica or Sahara desert. Okay? They may find little bit difficult because externally whatever the sense organs are there on our body, they are exposed to the high temperature or low temperature. If they are in Antarctica, they may be feeling very cold, and where they are in the Sahara, they may be feeling very hot, but inside the body is hardly affected. The stomach, the heart, the lung, the liver and kidney and the other muscles, they will be performing normally because they are hardly affected that what are the outside temperature. The mechanism of that used by most of the mammals to regulate their body temperature are similar to that we human beings do. Okay? To maintain a constant body temperature of 37 degrees Celsius in summer, when outside temperature is more, our body sweat profoundly. So on sweating, the water sweat comes out, and that when it evaporates, it takes the heat from the body and our body becomes cool. On the other end, during winters we find that we start shivering, and the shivering is a sort of exercise for those cells and they maintain temperature. Okay? So this is what the mechanism of our body to regulate. The second kind of organisms are conformer. Conformers are those organisms which are conformed to the external condition, whatever is the condition. Now they can't do anything. They don't have any mechanism to regulate. They do not have any mechanism to maintain the constant internal environment. So if outside it is cold, their body will also be cold. Outside it is hot, their body will also be hot. So their ability is affected. Their functioning is affected. Okay? Now the conformers are again of two types. One is they are not able to do any sort of regulation, but there are some type of conformers which are partly conformer and partly regulated. Like they can regulate temperature up to a certain extent. Beyond that, they cannot do anything, or they can regulate the moisture level up to a certain extent. After that, they cannot do that. Okay? So they are. If you look in the graph, you can see that three type of conditions are given. Conformers are there. There's this green color line, which is showing that is the whatever is the external temperature, that will be inside. Whatever amount of moisture outside is there, that same will be inside. But the partial regulators are those which up to a certain extent they will be depending on the external environment, and then they regulate. So three type of the same organisms are there. So the conformers are again of two types. Okay, the partly conformer or partly regulated or permanently conformers. So now we will see the second one, that is the conform. An overwhelming majority, that is 99% of the animal and nearly all the plants cannot maintain the outside internal and constant internal environment. The body temperature changes with the ambient temperature. That is, whatever is the outside temperature, accordingly their body temperature will be changing. And in aquatic animal, the osmotic concentration of the body fluid changes with that of the ambient water concentration. Outside is suppose more water is there, so amoeba's body water will keep on entering in their body. Okay? So up to this thing, what they do, they just throw the excess of water out. The same is done by the fish, but they cannot maintain the constant internal environment. ऐसा नहीं हो सकता कि that water will be always maintained. First the water will rise and then it will be thrown out. Then again it will come down, then again it will rise. So they keep on doing that thing. So the changes are continuous. These animals and plants can simply conform. Considering the benefit of the constant internal environment to the organism, we must ask why these conformers are not evolved to become regulated. So this type of questions are it's a silly question. No, because if we look at this type of question, it is saying that why an organism is not evolved, as if evolution is based on our need. That is what the Lamarck was thinking. Lamarck thought the characters are changed according to our need, which is not so. I cannot develop wings to fly, since I may find that it is so much crowded on the land to walk. So let me develop wings so that I can fly, and since there is no traffic in the air, so I will enjoy. It is not that I believe and it will develop, or I need and I'll develop. Evolution is not that. Evolution says that first the variation will be there, and among the variation whichever is suitable, that will be selected, and those which are not suitable, they will be eliminated. So in the lower organism, no such characters are developed. अभी तक उनमें ऐसा mutation हुआ ही नहीं. Once the mutation had to occur, then only the selection will be done. That will be leading to the modification or adaptation. Okay, so that is very important thing. Now considering the benefit of constant internal environment to the organism, we must ask whether the conformer not evolved. Why the conformer not evolved and become regulator? Recall the human analogy. Views above. Much as they like, how many people can really afford air conditioners? Not everyone. Some are still living in the open sky. There are some who are living under the fan. There are some who have coolers, and yet a very few, that is up to 10% people may be there who's got air conditioning, not even 10%. Okay, so now you ask me why everyone is not buying air conditioning? Maybe because they are not able to afford, maybe because they don't have permanent house, maybe because they don't have arrangement. Similarly, our body also has that same kind of condition. That is when the adaptation has taken place in the lower organ. So maybe because they don't have that such type of system, or maybe because those things are not evolved by them. Okay, so these are the things which one must consider. Okay, many simple sweat out. Okay, most of the organs क्या करते हैं? They simply sweat out, है ना, and resign themselves to the suboptimal performance to the hot summer months. The thermoregulation is energetically expensive. Those organs which are living in the cold places, they have to produce lot and lot of heat in order to maintain the temperature. Who? Those who can regulate, like human being. So those who are living in the cold places, अभी सर्दियाँ आ गई हैं, you all must be seeing, that is you cannot sustain with the same amount of food which you were eating in the winter. Winter, suppose you were eating 4 chapatis at a time. Now you will be eating more. Either the quantity will increase or the frequency will increase. Maybe that you may be thinking, sir, हम खाना तो उतना ही खा रहे हैं, but then you may be having something in between. ठीक है, every now and then you may be having something. So your body is getting more nutrients, more food to burn and to regulate the temperature. ठीक है. Now when the summers will come, then your appetite will decrease. Then you will say, sir, वो पानी इतना पी लेते हैं ना, भूख ही नहीं लगती है ना. Water is not there which can quench your hunger. वो तो प्यास ही बुझा सकता है. ठीक है, तो ये है. तो thermoregulation is energetically expensive to many organisms, and this is particularly true to the for the small animals like shrews and the hummingbirds, which are found in the colder region. Larger the body, comparatively less will be the heat loss. Okay? But the smaller the body, in compared to their volume, the area is more. In compared to their volume, the area is more. Since the area is more, the heat dissipation is the function of surface area. So since the surface area is more, they will lose more and more heat, and that is why you will hardly find a small hummingbird-like organisms in the polar regions. The polar region, all the animals are generally large, or in the Antarctica and Arctic region, you will find all the large animals. Okay? You will not find any animal with the long pin of the ear, or you will not find any animal with the small body. So this is actually a way to minimize the loss of heat. ठीक है, तो देखिए, this is particularly true in the small animals like shrews and hummingbirds. Heat loss or heat gain is a function of surface area. Since small animals have larger surface area related to their volume, important रखना बात. That is, size is, whenever a body size increases, actually the volume increases less in compared to the surface area. ठीक है, sorry, the volume increases more than the surface area. So surface area is not increasing in that way, and as the body becomes smaller, the volume decreases, but the surface area is not decreasing in the same proportion. ठीक है, तो ये वॉल्यूम एंड सरफेस एरिया एक दूसरे के इन्वर्सली प्रोपोर्शनल है, ये बात याद रखना. हीट लॉस एंड द हीट गेन इज नॉट इन्वर्सली प्रोपोर्शनल, बट दे डोंट इंक्रीज इन दैट. इन्वर्सली प्रोपोर्शनल विल बी समथिंग रॉन्ग टू बी quoted. Now heat loss and the heat gain is a function of surface area. Since small animals have large surface area relative to their body volume, they tend to lose heat very fast, and when it is cold outside, and when then they have to expend much energy to generate body heat. ठीक है, so this is now some of the species that evolved the ability to regulate, but only over a limited range. तो उनको हम क्या कहेंगे? That is partly conformers. Okay. Now if the stressful external conditions are localized and remain only for a short duration, then some of the animals may develop alternatives. What are the alternatives? It may be possible that in the Siberia it is very cold, but in India it is not so cold. That what the birds have an ability, what the birds will do, they will fly from the Siberia to India. There may be some animals who are living in the hilltop, and there are some in the valleys. The hilltop may become very cold, then they may come down to valleys. And in the winters they may do the opposite, that is they may move from valleys to hilltop. Okay? So this type of movement is there. Now the movement can be a few centimeters to several hundreds and thousands of kilometers. So that is the way. It is an analogy is given, that is a human analogy strategy is like a person moving from Delhi to Shimla in the summers, okay, duration of summer. Many animals, particularly birds, during winters undertake long distance migration to the more hospitable areas. ये नाम याद रखना. Now it is not only in Bharatpur, but now practically most of the places in Kota there are number of birds coming, but you cannot ride. You cannot write because your copy may go to Gujarat, he may not be knowing that Kota may birds are here. So you have to write only this example which is mentioned or which is quoted in the book. Every winter the famous Kevladev National Park, that is Bharatpur in Rajasthan, hosts thousands of migratory birds coming from Siberia. So this example as particular, you write this only, please. You may read number of things, you may know number of things, but quote only the things which is given in the book. Second is suspend. There are many animals which can suspend their activities during severe winters. Okay? Now winters or summers. Winters, what they do? They either hibernate. Now hibernation is mostly done by amphibians like frog and all. But in your book, frog name example is not given. It is given about bear. So you write about bear only. Okay? So वो ये अलग अलग एग्जाम्पल दे रखे हैं. क्या क्या है? दैट इज द सीड्स इन प्लांट, दे आल्सो सस्पेंड देयर एक्टिविटी अनलेस द फेवरेबल कंडीशन कम्स. ठीक है? देन बेयर क्या कर रहा है? वो हाइबरनेट कर रहा और एस्टिमेट कर सकते हैं. Okay, so it is written there again. Seeds in some of the vegetable reproductive structure and serve as the means to tide over the long period and helping in their distribution. They germinate when the favorable condition comes. Next paragraph. In animals, the organism is unable to migrate, might avoid stressful condition. Like the familiar example, the bear going into hibernation during winters to escape, that is extreme winters. Some of the snails and the fish goes estivation. Snails and fish. Oh, estimate, sorry. ठीक है? They show estivation. Okay? These are very important. ये पैराग्राफ बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है बिकॉज इसमें क्वेश्चन आते हैं. अंडर अनफेवरेबल कंडीशन मेनी zooplankton species in the pond may known to enter into diapause. ठीक है? तो कौन करेंगे? zooplankton. So these are some of the mechanisms to avoid the harsh conditions of the environment, that is super winter or super summers. Okay, next adaptation. Now what is meant by adaptation? Adaptation and ability of an organism to cope up with the surrounding. Okay, while considering the various alternatives available to the organism for coping with the extreme in the environment, we are seeing that some are able to respond through certain physiological adjustment while others do it behaviorally. तो ये इनका अडेप्टेशन है, कोई किसी के अंदर फिजियोलॉजी चेंज हो गया एंड सम अदर आई गॉट देयर डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ बिहेवियर. Okay, now these responses are also actually their adaptation. So we can say that the adaptation of any attribute of the organism, that is morphological or physiological or behavioral, that enable the organism to survive and reproduce in its habitat. Okay, so there are different type of adaptation. You see all the plants which are developed or growing in the arid region, xerophyte, which are commonly known as, they got an adaptation, that is the number of leaves will reduce, the body may be covered by a thick layer of cuticle, the stomata may reduce, or the stomata may go sunken, sink deep in the holes and all pores and all. Then they may have thorns, the roots may be deep, okay, and the stem may become succulent, the stem may become green to carry over the function in space of leaves and all. So these are some of the adaptation. Similarly, the adaptation which are found in the like a kangaroo rat is given here. Now kangaroo rat, which is found in the North American desert, they don't to meet their water requirement, when the water is not available to them, so they give what that is hypertonic urine they excrete, and whatever amount of water is available from their food, and the water which they can fetch from the metabolic activity, that they store and that they use. ठीक है, तो यूरिन जो इनका हाईली कंसनट्रेटेड हो जाएगा. तो दिस आर सम ऑफ द एग्जांपल. नाउ मेनी डीप डेजर्ट प्लांट्स हैं, थिक क्यूटिकल एंड द लीव्स एंड ऑल दैट मैंने आपको बता दिया ना. कैम्प प्लांट इज आल्सो गिवन. नाउ व्हाट आर कैम्प प्लांट? कैम्प प्लांट्स आर दोज प्लांट्स which stores carbon dioxide in their leaves, which they are produced during night, and that same carbon dioxide they will be using during daytime for photosynthesis. ठीक है, तो दैट इज अगेन a very important feature which is found in them. Opensia का मैंने आपको बता ही दिया, leaves are actually modified into thorns. Allen's rule ये बहुत important है ना. व्हाट इज Allen's rule? Allen's rule ये कह रहा है that is in the desert, in the cold regions you will hardly find any animal with the large ears. ठीक है, तो देखिए mammal from the colder climate generally have shorter ear and limbs to minimize heat loss, because surface area बढ़ा रहता है तो उसको कम कर दीजिए. This is called Allen's rule. In the polar sea, aquatic mammals like seals have a thick layer, जिसको हम कहेंगे blubber, ठीक है, which also prevent the heat. Now some of the organism possesses adaptation that are physiological, which allow them to respond quickly to the stressful condition. ठीक है, तो ये यहाँ पे लिखा है जैसे हमारी बॉडी में if any of you have gone to the hills in the North India, that is Rohtang Pass, और उसके ऊपर कुल्लू मनाली उन जगहों पर हम चले जाएंगे where the height is 3,500 meter or above from the sea level. Their oxygen content is very low. So if we go to these places in one go, we may find altitude sickness. So generally it is advised that we have to take rest in some of the places. So when we rest in those higher altitudes, automatically the oxygen, that is RBC content increases in a very short period of time. तो ये जो कम टाइम के अंदर अपनी बॉडी में अडेप्टेशन होता है, that is called acclimatization. ठीक है, तो body can soon acclimatize to the oxygen requirement or oxygen condition available to those places. ठीक है, तो ये हो गया. ये लाइन आप पढ़ सकते हैं. You can see here now, but gradually you get acclimatized and stop experiencing altitude sickness. How did our body solve this problem? तो body क्या है the body compensate low oxygen availability by increasing the number of RBC. ठीक है, so this is a short term adaptation which is found in our body. तो टोटल हीमोग्लोबिन के नंबर बढ़ जाएंगे, and that is why you see people who are living in the high altitude generally have reddish body and a pinkish body. Why? Because they got more number of hemoglobin in per unit blood in compared to the hemoglobin which is found in us. So we may find difficulty in breathing, but those people don't. Okay, now in most of the animals the metabolic reactions and hence all the physiology physiological function proceed optimally in a narrow temperature range. In human it is 37 degrees Celsius, but there are microbe like archaebacteria. So we have studied about archaebacteria in class 11th, and we have studied that these are those bacteria which can even thrive in the very high temperature. Okay, and for that they got a special enzymes which can even tolerate such high temperature. Okay, so we will study from here in the next class, that is tomorrow. और चलो पढ़ाई देता हूँ छोटा सा and we'll study about population. So a large variety of marine invertebrates in the fish has a great living at a great depth. कहाँ पर है? Above 100 meters. ठीक है, तो there the atmospheric pressure is very high. ठीक है, क्योंकि एवरी 10 मीटर में 1 एटमॉस्फेरिक प्रेशर बढ़ जाता है. सो 100 मीटर्स मीन्स 10 एटमॉस्फेरिक प्रेशर. 1000 मीटर, दैट इज बिकॉज वी नो सीज आर वेरी डीप, they may be up to 2, 3, 4, 5 kilometers. So those benthic animals which are found the base or the depth of the or on the surface of the sea, that is the bottom of the sea, they will be experiencing a very high pressure. So their body have adapted to tolerate such high pressure. Now when the pressure increases, naturally the chemical reactions are also affected. So they will have accordingly what type of enzymes in their body which can even work in such high pressure. Okay, organism living in such extreme environment shows fascinating area of biological adaptation. Some of the organisms show behavioral responses to cope with the environment. Now behavior कैसा है? जैसे desert lizard. Now what did the desert lizard do? When the winters are there, they will come up and lie down in the sun for some time. And when it is very hot, again they move back in the cold. Same is done by the crocodiles. You might have seen the crocodiles. When it is very cold, they go and lie down in the sun. That is called basking in the sun. And when the body absorbs enough of heat, then again they go back in the water. Okay? So this is how they are maintaining. Now since they cannot maintain physiologically their body temperature and all, so this is done by the behavior. Okay, so these are the very interesting pattern which we can see. Some of the species are capable of burrowing themselves in the soil to hide and escape from the above ground heat. So they create a microhabitat where the temperature is suitable for them. So this is what the various type of ways by which the animals can, or organism, not animals, no, organisms can adapt themselves for can cope up with the surrounding conditions. Okay, tomorrow we will study about population. Start population.